Pop Scoop.
Hi, this is Isaac for Pop Scoop, and I'm talking to Trevor Penick of newly reunited as a four-piece pop group O-Town. How are you doing?
Oh, amazing. I like that intro. That's great.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. We're excited. Things are starting to happen. The album comes out on Sunday, so
Yes.
excited.
Before we talk about your third studio album, Lines and Circles, if I could just take you back to the year 1999, when the MTV-produced ABC reality TV series Making the Band brought you and Dan, Jacob, Eric, Michael, and Ashley all together, and the nation watched you guys turn into a boy band in front of their very eyes. I mean, how is that to look back almost 15 years later?
Oh, man, that is one of the craziest things. I mean, obviously, all of us just went to an audition one day and didn't realize our whole lives were going to change forever. But, looking back, you look back at old clips, and it's just like you going back and looking at high school or anything like that. You just look back and you laugh at yourself. You enjoy looking back. We smile about it. We laugh about it. But, it was definitely an awesome moment in all of our lives, and it brought us together. And, we're brothers for life now, so it's weird.
Yeah, and I guess, you were that age, too. You were young. You're still young, of course, but, you were young and you grew up together in that way through some pretty amazing times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were 19, 20 years old, and, it was like college, you know what I mean? It was like we went to, the University of Music, and we learned how to, we learned from our professors were Clive Davis, and Lou Pearlman and ABC, MTV. We learned a lot of things through those years and things that helped us record this album and do everything we're doing now.
Yeah, and I mean, to say some of the impressive stats that you had, then, you recorded 2 studio albums, a total sale of over 3 million copies. You scored 2 U.S. #1 hits with Liquid Dreams and All or Nothing, UK top 5s, and you traveled the world performing to screaming crowds. I mean, what was your favorite memory from that period? Do you have one?
Oh, man, there isn't, just one. I think just honestly, the whole experience as a whole. I mean, just the traveling and the performing and just literally being able to do what you love and be like, wow, I'm doing what, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is my job. And it's to think that that's your job. You're so thankful that you're able to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it goes away, you're like, oh man, wow, that went away just as fast as it came. So it did. And now for us to be doing it again is it's amazing. It's awesome. I can't believe we're doing it again. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's the very exciting part. I mean, how do you feel, to have been there at the birth of so much of the industry now? It was before Pop Idol and American Idol and X Factor and The Voice. I mean, how do you see those shows now?
Oh, and I think those shows are great. I think there's a lot of talent that comes on those shows, and it's just entertainment now. It's just entertainment for everybody. It's like the #1 shows out here are always these competition shows, and I mean, yeah, we were the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's crazy. I love watching those things. I love seeing the kids. I love watching people's dreams come true. So I think that's what everyone loves, actually.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. And like you said, you had, you split in 2003. You pursued solo careers both in and outside the music biz. You were Trey Scott, and you worked with producer Eddie Galen. Is that right?
I did. Wow. Yeah.
And of course, he's helped produce your new album too. I mean, how did you all, without Ashley, decide to reform and work together again? How did that come about?
It had been in the works for a couple of years, but it just never came to fruition. Jacob lived in Nashville, so it was hard for us to get together. Then when Jacob moved back to California and we were all in California, then Dan had a baby. Then Ashley didn't want to do it. And then it was okay, so we want to do it as 4. Okay, let's try it as 4. And then finally everything just kind of happened. And we were just going to start doing shows, but then we we recorded Skydive and it came out awesome. And it was just kind of wow, maybe we should do an album.
Yeah, and you must have been sad not to see as much of each other too. You had that intense period, and then did you keep in touch throughout the years in between?
Oh yeah, definitely. We were always in touch. I've talked to the guys quite a bit, throughout the years. And it was obviously something we were so close to each other for so long. So
yeah.
it was an awesome thing.
And how do you feel that the creativity is this time around?
It's more about us this time. All the creativity is coming from us, everything. The songs, the music, the stage show, all the album artwork, everything you see that we're putting out there is coming from us. That's actually what makes it this time so much better, is that our stamp is on everything. We don't have a huge record label this time.
Yeah.
We don't have Clive Davis putting in, millions and millions of dollars into us. We're doing everything on our own. We don't, anyone really telling us what to do. Everything you hear and see is coming from us, all our decisions.
That's really great. I mean, it's scary, right, for you, but it's so inspiring to to be able to just do it just yourselves and the way that you four want it to be.
Exactly, and it's very fulfilling. It's fulfilling, It's when someone says, "Oh, I love this picture," or "I love the album cover." It's like, "Oh, we did that," But it's just super fulfilling,
And then you said, you have the lead single "Skydive's" already been released. And that's already out there. Your new album "Lines and Circles" is due to drop worldwide on August 25th. And you must be so excited, as you said.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, it's been 12 years since we had an album come out. And like I said, this comes from us, and we're putting ourselves out there, and we're just excited for people to hear it. We're just excited for people to hear the songs that we came up with.
And did you have a certain kind of direction or in mind for all the different songs? I mean, you've got quite a scope across all 10 tracks. I don't think a few different styles. You've got ballads, you've got funky tunes, you've got synth grooves.
Yeah, I think it's the same as like O-Town's always been. I mean, we're four completely different individuals with four different tastes. And so that's what our album's going to sound like. Our album's going to have like a song that like Jacob would do solo, like a Buried Alive, or Dan, and then you have like the funky like dance tracks that like, I would do, and that's just what we are. That's what O-Town is. Like that's what our sound is. Our sound is an eclectic sound.
Definitely. And is there a favorite track that you have personally on the album?
Man, I think our second single, which actually is going to radio this week in the States, called Chasing After You. That is like, it's just really funky and dancey and like super catchy, and I don't know, I just really like that song.
Yeah, I have to say it's my favorite too. It's like a funk
awesome.
update. Yeah, it's like a funk update of Liquid Dreams in a way. You've got a few. Yeah, kind of. You mentioned some hot girls of now, as opposed to the girls back then. So and it's got such a funky groove.
Thank you.
And then you performed a London show back in June to a sellout crowd. And what was that like, being on stage together again?
That was amazing. Like I said, that was our first time being on stage together.
Wow.
And it was great. The fans loved it. And, after 12 years, I mean, literally the first minute we were on stage, it felt like no time had passed. It was crazy. It had this weird feeling of like, man, has it really been 12 years? Like it just felt natural, just felt normal.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you were doing some of the same dance moves and routines that seemed to come right back all natural.
Yeah, we did some of the old moves and so that was cool.
And what is up next for you after the album release? I mean, that's on August 25th. Are you touring in the U.S.?
Yeah, we have a bunch of shows scheduled for the end of the year. Dan is actually expecting another baby in October, so we took
busy man.
We're taking the September, October months off so he can be with his wife and prep for his new baby. And then we're going back out in November. We're hitting like all New York, New Jersey, Philly, like doing that area. And then December we're doing like the Midwest, Chicago, Pittsburgh, all that stuff. So
that's awesome. Do you have plans to come back to the UK too? Because I mean, you had such huge amounts of fans here too. A big support for you guys.
Yes, we do. We're going to come back. I think we're looking at either January or February. We definitely want to come back. I love being out there.
It's been great chatting to you, Trevor. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Isaac.
I wish you guys all the best with the album, and good luck.
Oh, thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked Chasing After You.
Yes, looking forward to hearing that on the radio soon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, me too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Pop Scoop.